Today Saint Laurent. I'm spending 100.
Your googles, nigga. What the fuck you gonna do, nigga?
See me and you tryna see what's up. He wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck. Bitch looking bad and got a stupid butt.
We don't understand.
Show love, nigga. It don't show nothing. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
All we doing
nigga.
is getting money.
Show a nigga some love, nigga.
Yo, what's up? It's your money, and I'll overdraft my bank account by $400, and we about to head to the casino. Yo, let me put y'all down real quick. There you go. That nigga your money is crazy, by the way. I don't know why I fuck with his content. What's up, everyone? This is Angie's, and outside of that corny Jamani impression, the real reason you clicked on this video, you've seen the title, you've probably seen the length of the video. I don't know how long this is gonna be, but the TikTok rapper Iceberg explained. I'm probably the only person on here that's dedicated to talk about TikTok rappers. And no, I am not proud of saying that statement, by the way. That's just, this is just something I wanted to do for a while now. Hence, how long this shit has took. I literally made this idea of June of last year, and currently we are in May. So yeah, TikTok rappers. When you hear that phrase, what comes to mind exactly? Me personally, when I hear that phrase, it's usually someone that has one or more viral songs on TikTok, and we hear from them consistently on the app with their music, or it's something we only hear them once on TikTok and nothing more. So pretty much it's a double-edged sword to be classified as a TikTok rapper. And before we get into the iceberg, this is all based off my knowledge. Will this be completely accurate? Probably not, but it's all based off what I know, rather it be locally or non-locally. Basically a chronically online iceberg like the rest. And like I said in the beginning, or I didn't mention it in the beginning, this is my first time, or last, most likely my last time doing an iceberg in any regard. This is just something I wanted to do for a hot minute now. Granted, I made this idea in June of last year, and again, we're pushing May, about to be June by the time it is recorded. So sit back, relax while you're gaming, probably found something to sleep to, and let's get into the TikTok rapper Iceberg.
Keep a bando and we don't talk to randos. Shot flock with the pen.
I know the topic in hand is about TikTok, but let me take y'all back to 2018 to 2020, where apps like Triller and Dubsmash was at an all-time high, and these artists use it to their advantage while still being relevant currently. Well, for the most part at least. Starting with Kareem, bro's been an all-star when it comes to making songs for apps even before TikTok was a thing. Kareem been around since 2018, and even in current day, his sounds, rather it's old or new, tend to go viral at least once a year due to how weirdly catchy the songs are. And with how many dances people, or even himself in some cases, come up with this music. And he was also featured on one of Don Toliver's recent projects, so clearly he's still relevant in some regard, making him a TikTok sound godfather. Pretty much the same thing as Kareem, but the difference is we don't hear from him anymore. 10K Cash had people hitting the wall. Y'all remember that shit? Hold up, let me give y'all a reminder if y'all don't.
Beat. Running through the house,
But besides him being known for hitting the low, he also had trendy music during this time frame. But he's one of the only, well, literally the only person on this layer who doesn't drop consistently. I tried to do research on where he's been over the years, and he's allegedly signed to Def Jam, well, was. That explained everything I needed to know. And his most recent songs, not recent per se, his most recent songs from 2021 don't sound like the music people liked him for, which was dance songs. He went from dance songs to average strap songs from what I've heard.
Lean with my bricks, curve hard when I silk. Hey, this that swagger shit. Stop my head, don't take a pill if it's a pill that you get swallowed. I'm on the hill, I've been swinging like a Apollo.
While during my research digging regarding 10K Cash, he dropped a project in 2022 called, and no, I am not making up this name by the way, I'll literally put it up on the screen. The guy with the swisher, the bag, the cash, and if you ain't swagging, this ain't for you.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
Did I listen to it? Fuck no. And fun fact, he deleted it off streaming services, so clearly nobody else is listening to the shit. I know it took a very long time for this video to come out, but I knew for a fact this shit was on streaming services while I was doing research. It's gone now, but nah, you can't fool me. And when I checked his Spotify, it says I'm back ... I don't know what that means. Maybe he might have a comeback, who knows? Probably not. But I'm not tapped in with 10K cash as it is, so it's not gonna affect me. But that's just something to keep in mind, I guess. And to wrap things up in this short layer, let's talk about Young Manny. Unlike the first two, this is someone I used to listen to back in the day and actually paid attention to his come up, from songs like Moana, All My God's the Ballers, and Bitcoin. These were songs that would have virality to it, and rightfully so. Excuse me. He even has a few recent songs that would tend to go viral on TikTok, like You Can't Stop the Rain, No Fingers Freestyle, and Murder Man. Only downside is I'm not really into his current music. Those songs I just named are good, but everything else I'm not really too fond of. I don't know if it's because I grew out of that whole DMV wave as time went on, besides a couple of artists, but it just don't click with me anymore. Manny just sounds like he's chasing for TikTok sounds consistently now.
Cash in my hair to my ass. Do the dash, can you make it go fast? Fuck the fame, all I want.
From hood cinema reference aside, what I mean by TikTok all-star is these rappers pretty much got TikTok in the palm of their hands, or contributed to how it currently plays a major factor in rap in some shape or form. As much as Coi Leray wanna act like 98% of her music career isn't contributed because of TikTok, she's 100% an all-star, and like I said, that's not a bad thing to be labeled as a TikTok rapper, but to pretend like you're not when you're making projects filled with TikTok sounding songs unironically is insane. There was a small point of time that I actually liked Coi Leray music when she was first coming up, but ever since No More Parties dropped, everything took a turn for the worse. Yeah, she started to take off with consistent TikTok sounds like No More Parties and Big Purr, but the general consensus wasn't taking her seriously due to it. Her performance in the XXL 2021 freshman class made it no better, so she's an all-star, but just one who don't make good music overall. She just gotta charge it to the game, that's all. This man Coachie's had the same amount of pull Coi did on TikTok during quarantine. The beat to Tell Him with Snot alone makes this man a GOAT when it comes to TikTok audios. That might sound like I'm glazing, but I'm not wrong though. And listen to this beat, this majestic ass beat. I know y'all heard it at least once in y'all life. Yeah, he had the Cardi clone allegations when he was first coming up, which was very understandable. You can hear it in songs like Pocket Rocket or Hatchback, but I'm pretty sure you can tell the difference now, especially with him having a cult-like fan base, so that's a plus. Even though I'm not a big fan of his music due to it can get very repetitive quickly, especially listening to a full-on project, he still has his dedicated fan base who supports him after Tell Him, and he's not fully bad. He always got a few songs I end up liking from them said projects, and also got a few funny moments on his social media, so he's valid in my book. Another female rapper in this layer whose songs tend to go viral on TikTok since 2020, Flo Milli had a lot of songs go viral on TikTok since Beef Flow Mix, the song that came out in 2019, which is crazy to even think about her managing to stay relevant for this long. Not just because of her looks, but a good amount of her songs was and still managed to get popular on TikTok till this day, such as In the Party, her verse on that one Snot song. Why does Snot have so many popular songs, but I can't name that shit at all? And debatably her biggest song currently, Never Lose Me, which is somehow bigger than Ron Artest, the song that uses the same beat as Never Lose Me and came out months prior, but my bias aside, rather I like her music or not, cause realistically I don't. With that Disney Channel ass music, her music get bigger every year and TikTok plays a major role, hence why she's in the all-star category. Now it's interesting to put New York drill artists in a layer where they get praised, because if y'all may or may not know, that subgenre is really not in the best state right now due to multiple, and I mean multiple reasons that I'll cover in a bit. But 41 seems like the only group managing to last long in that scene, to the point I'd say they're even bigger than that bubble due to the amount of times they go viral. Rather it be the On the Radar freestyles, Doing in the Boost with Playboy Max, songs like Beckham and Damn that went viral this past year alone, and even the songs where they're not dissing anybody, which usually don't work for New York drill artists, go viral, if not bigger than the ones that I mentioned. As Bent in that song with Enely Chopper with that one part in particular, y'all know it.
I love pills and Percocets.
Yeah, you could say Kyle Rich tend to have the most consistent sound and is the more popular of the three, but they all play a part in the songs. It's not like Tata and Jen Carter ruining the songs. All three play a role whenever they do group songs, and in most cases it works, which is why they're still standing, which is impressive from people that came up as New York drill rappers to mainstream rappers who don't really have to do the dissing side of things. for the most part at least. I know some of y'all are probably wondering why in the world Jaleel of all people is in this layer. It's mostly due to the next 3 artists, starting with Jaleel doing the same type of promotion regarding their music on TikTok, which I'll get into. Though he isn't relevant as he once was in 2022 to mid 2023, the song Dive In alone makes him deserving a spot in the all-star layer, rather it be his skits promoting the song, the anime TikToks, which it's best that I don't talk about. Not only with the song Dive In and others like Godsent and Shots off his Real Raw album, not only shows what his music consists of, but also his performances back when he was doing crazy backflips, having that Real Raw. But like I mentioned, he's not that popular as he once was. The last time I seen him, he chilled on that type of music, transitioning into reggae / Afro beats with a small hint of rage on his recent album, which isn't my type of music personally, but I could see it working out for him.
Yo, bro, why are you doing that?
Jay-Z ain't dropped yet, bro.
Don't worry, Mega Man drops January 7th. Listen.
Now take what I said about Jaleel regarding the skits and crank that times 10, because I am not exaggerating when I see this. I've seen this man Jay-Z running forward ever since I was a sophomore in high school, and it's been 2 years since I've graduated. I know y'all seen that video I played in the beginning in some shape or form at least once last year, but outside of the questionable running vids and the pants he be rocking, like, dog, is that Sonic Adventure 2 pants? I ain't never seen no shit like that. He tend to have viral songs that are used for memes or his other promotion when he's not running, rapping the songs such as Mega Man or Diddy Kong either by himself or sometimes with a female. And I haven't even mentioned the song Tomioka, which always go viral on TikTok at least once a year. That could go for most of his other songs, because usually when Jay-Z promotes a song, it doesn't go viral until like 2 to 3 months later. But Tomioka, a song that came out in 2022, still would go viral currently. Rather it be the original song that currently has 52 million streams on Spotify by the time of this recording, or the remix with Flo Milli. There's some type of trend going on with that song in particular, and I'm willing to bet it'll go viral again this year around the summertime, because it's getting close to that. It'll be 4 years since Tomioka is the song of the summer if that happens.
I could never snitch.
No, Mabu. I could never snitch.
I can never snitch. That's on my kid.
I mentioned how New York drill isn't in the best space due to multiple reasons. Lil Mabu is one of the reasons why New York drill as a genre is dead as a whole. One thing I will give him though, he basically absorbed the rappers from that realm to get where he's at currently, from Dusty Locane, Fabio Foreign, Didi Osamba, and maybe more I left out, but they all suck, so it don't matter. All these songs follow the same format. This suburban white kid makes a promo doing a song with a New York drill artist who's bigger than him at the time on TikTok, and ironically talking about the same substance as that said drill artist. It goes viral on TikTok, then Mabu proceeds to elevate while the artist is stuck in the same place. Let's use Fabio Foreign for example. Outside of the whole smoking situation with Max that happened a couple months ago,
I'm the real Black Boy Max. Black Boy Max. Yeah, Black Boy Max.
the last thing he did noticeable was a song with Lil Mabu, and it was something to say the least.
He can't say the word, I'ma say it for him.
You're not the biggest, I'm bigger. You just a broke little
nigga.
And I'm young, and I'm richer.
I don't know what type of prime King Batch bar was that, but to go from Kanye to Lil Mabu is really crazy to put in retrospect. And there's probably more bars I can look out for, but if y'all want to do that, be my guest. I am not doing no research on fucking Lil Mabu of all things. Protect my mental health. I did not listen to a single Lil Mabu project or more than 2 songs. Y'all was really out here listening to Lil Mabu, but unfortunately he belongs in this layer. Era of Michigan rappers coming up around mid 2020 to early 2021 was low-key special, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. A lot of big names came out from that era, such as Rio the Young OG, Babyface Ray, V's, and many more I can name. Yachty handed out feature stimulus for these rappers at the time, rather it be hopping on their songs or the Michigan Boat Boy tape that helped out a lot solidifying that sound to the mainstream, but I think what led up to that is one person in particular. This might be a stretch, but I feel like if it wasn't for the Coochie Man himself, YNJ, I don't think Michigan would be as stable in the mainstream rap currently. Rio is 100% bigger than him. Rio didn't have the mainstream attention until later on when he was about to get locked up, or already was, and he couldn't capitalize off his songs that were getting attention as much as he wanted to. But since he's out now, he can continue where he left off. YNJ on the other hand, there was a point where bro was the biggest Flint rapper besides Rio due to the crazy amount of push his songs would have on TikTok, with songs such as Triple S, Coochie, Coochie Land, A lot of coochie references in this man catalog, huh? To the funny and off-the-wall lyrics, what the Michigan rap scene was known for at one point, I feel like they slowly moved away from that being the main takeaway from their music, but it's still there depending on who you're listening to. It ain't like a TJX6 or Cash Raquan situation.
You begging for change at the gas station trying to beatbox.
Where they were viral at one point for those said off the wall lyrics, but unfortunately fell off. I think his music aged the worst out of everyone from that era.
I turned around, shoe and got me busting backwards. We dropped the air tag in this car, there ain't no fucking trap. You know if I pull up, you get fucking cry.
Y&J still managed to pull a good amount of views on YouTube from what I'm seeing, and that Perk and Sex remix song that went viral not too long ago with a G Herbo and Sexy Red remix, so he could easily get another trending viral song, no problem. He's just chilling for real, so shout out to Y&J, a TikTok all-star, man. I'll chill out with the Prim references. Bossman D-Lo ain't a prime example of a TikTok rapper. I don't know what is. The only reason he didn't make the original layer is because bro started blowing up after I made that template. Song Get It With Me blew him up to the mainstream due to the catchy cadence and lyrics, and also us realizing that he was the hibachi in question with this lyric.
He's gay!
Say he's a prime example of a TikTok rapper because if you click on his Spotify and play his top 10, not even his top 10, his top 5, you've heard at least one of these beats on the FYP, not even the song. Seen people talk about underground rapper Rocket popular songs sounding like a For You page, which is very true, not gonna lie, but Bossman D-Lo should not get a pass at all because he's in the same boat outside of being a mainstream rapper, obviously. Like, let me show y'all something real quick.
You guys don't possess the BBC gene. That's why you're upset. No BBC equals anger.
Yeah, I know in most of the video it's a no cam, but this is probably one of the points where you're gonna see my face, so hello. But I want to show y'all something. Bro, 4 of them songs sound the exact same beat wise. Do you see what I mean when I said his songs sound like a For You page where I may or may not be clipped, pause. I may or may not get clapped for playing Bossman D-Lo beats, but the point still stands. That shit sound, 4 of the 5 beats sounds the exact same, bruh. So, if I get copyright claim for pointing out the obvious, then shit. They ain't going to gain no money from my ass, but hey, enjoy the rest of the video.
They were like, Pop, why you all like that? Why you talk like that? Why you all like that? Hey, DJ, play that shit back. He don't even know how to do his own song.
Pretty much the opposite of the all-star layer. This layer consists of one-hit wonders or people who may had their moment with the TikTok hits, but in current day, nowhere near to be seen for real, to my knowledge at least, or the general consensus, really, not even just my knowledge. The thing with CJ, it was clear as day he wasn't gonna last long due to the multiple suspicions regarding his come up, such as one of them being him being an industry plant, not actually being part of a gang, when the whole image of the song Whoopty, not just the lyrics but the music video, clearly doing that. Him and his people rocking red bandanas all over it in the music video, and in my personal opinion, the main reason why he fell off
was boring music.
And all of that basically turned out to be true. Starting with the elephant in the room, the industry plant allegations, the song I mentioned, Whoopty, was going mega viral around late 2020, early 2021, leading to the music video having 487 million views currently. But as you can see, it's the first song you see on streaming platforms when you check his page. Probably thinking to yourself, maybe it's his first song that he ever released and got lucky due to how good the song is. Well, first off, the song ain't good at all, but anyway. Well, actually, he been had music around. It's just wiped off every single music platform you can think of. And even one of his songs before Whoopty, which was a mega hit, mind you, he had a 6ix9ine feature in 2018. Put that in perspective, a random rapper from New York getting a 6ix9ine feature in 2018. 2018, the same year 6ix9ine had the world in his hands, telling everybody to suck his dick, and damn near everything he dropped was an instant hit. There was no way CJ himself was able to pay that fee of whatever 6ix9ine was charging at that time for him. The reason for that to be a thing, allegedly he had a family member who's respected, helped him out his entire career, which isn't entirely bad at all. If anything, that's a good opportunity, but it's too noticeable in CJ's case. The point the actual gang members he was repping in the Whoopty vid I mentioned earlier straight up said this man is a poser and even tried to stamp the term Whoopty for himself. So not only his come up isn't authentic, the gang he reps isn't authentic as well. The music is... I'm not gonna explain furthermore on why I feel like CJ music is boring as a whole, but all I'm gonna say is listen to his Loyalty Over Royalty EP, and that's 18 minutes I'm gonna need back for listening to that shit. Oh, and did I mention that he isn't consistent like at all? Trust me, I should know, but anyway. His last song that came out was in 2023, and the reason for that is he has a kid, which I'm not gonna get on his ass about, but don't expect people to be waiting on that new TJ, because I promise you we are good on that. Pretty sure I don't gotta say too much about Mario Judah because it's common knowledge at this point, but if y'all don't know, I genuinely don't see how. But anyway, around 2020, a song called Die Very Rough, which went crazy viral due to the music video being one of those when the voice don't match the person, basically the same things Ian and Forbats is known for, but it's actually interesting. Not only because of the music, but due to multiple interviews, people was gravitating towards Mario Judah for his personality, whether it be the way he says nigga.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way. Nigga! Yeah, that's, yeah.
Or one of the main factors, or where this story goes downhill, him being a Cardi fan. And I mean one of those Cardi fans.
Alright, bro. Playboy Cardi. Drop Whole Lot of Red, bro. We want it. Bad. We've been waiting 2 years. You have 1 week. If you don't drop it, I'm dropping it for you. Drop it before December 6th. This is not a game. This is not a drill. This is not a test. Drop Whole Lot of Red. Hey, bro, where the fuck is Whole Lot of Red at, Playboy Cardi? The fuck you got going on, bro? It's been 2 years, nigga, and you still ain't dropped it. What the fuck? You got time to post pictures and little model pics and shit that you be doing, but you ain't got time to turn in a fucking album and post that bitch? Pathetic, bro. 2 years, nigga. Where the fuck is Whole Lot of Red at, bro? Post it now! No!
Basically made him the spokesperson for the Cardi community at the time, whether we want to admit it or not, because he told Cardi multiple times that if Whole Lot of Red didn't come out, he'd quote unquote drop it for you. And that's what he did. He dropped an EP of his version of Whole Lot of Red on December 18th, 2020, which low-key aged terribly. Then a week later, the 30-year-old himself decided to drop that actual Whole Lot of Red on Christmas Day, and we all know how that went. I'm not gonna explain. So the Whole Lot of Red chapter out the way, what's the next step for Mario Judah's career?
Oh, God, that's not her, bro. Keep going, bro. Don't stop, bro. Keep going. Move, go. Oh, stop the car, bro. Stop the car. Hell no, bro. You fucking serious? This bitch right here, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious, bro? What's up with this bitch, bro? Mario! Hey, where the fuck you at? Mario!
Oh yeah, that turned out to be fake. Who would have guessed? Just for him to promote a song. Whether it was fake or not, that was not the best way to promote himself. Only way he'd get away with it if he was actually signed to the oath. And after that single, we haven't heard anything from him. He was supposed to be on Mr. Rage with Trippy and ironically Cardi, but due to obvious reasons, there was no way he was going to get his verse on that song, no matter how viral it was. What made it worse, Mr. Rage turned out to be a massive hit, being one of the most influential factors of the whole genre, I'd say, which could have made Mario Judah a potential household name. Not only that, and it's been proven that he signed a terrible deal behind his manager back, so Mario Judah ended up being his own enemy at the end, which I would say if bro didn't randomly come back dropping 2 songs and semi-active on Instagram. As soon as he dropped the song Love You Anymore, which is hard by the way, the deadbeat himself dropped I Am Music literally a week later. Maybe I'll put Mario Judah in the wrong later, but fuck it, it's too late, bruh. From one sad story to another, we move on to Pop Hunter, a Philly rapper who had TikTok in the chokehold at one point with songs like I'm Single and the main topic we all know, Adderall, aka Bitch. That corny ass song. Although I never liked the song personally, I can't take away from his crazy success to the point Lil Uzi hopped on the remix, making it 10 times bigger, and even giving him another feature with the Takeoff remix for his Mud Baby project, which came out the same day as Whole Lot of Red. Fun fact. Keep that Takeoff remix in mind, because this is where it goes downhill. Not even a week of the Mud Baby project I mentioned being released, Uzi demanded that Pop Hunter take off his verse off that song. Get it? Cause Takeoff is the song name. The reason why that came about is because some paperwork I'm not even gonna go over when he was 14 years old, not something he came out when he was 20 at the time. 14. And what was Pop Hunter's response? At first he tried to deny it, saying it was fake news, like everybody else does. But hours later, the Takeoff remix with Uzi is taken off streaming services, so it can't be that big. Trust me, I'm not putting that against them at all. At the end of the day, I'm a civilian. That shit don't got nothing to do with me, despite us being from Philly. But I can't say the same for the rest of the rap community, because they seen the paperwork. No matter what the age or the context is, they instantly shunned him down to the point he was considering to quit. Ever since them allegations came out to be true, it haven't been any better since. He could have kept dropping to have a little bit motion to his name, because the song Who Next Anthem went viral for a short span of time during that peak of hip shaking music. I'll cover later on in the video, but due to inconsistency, allegedly beefing with people in the hip shaking realm that could have helped him, and only doing TikTok lives, it don't look like a comeback is happening. Last thing I heard from Pop Hunter in current times was basically him getting set up by a woman on TikTok live. So that shows how bad his luck is. Let's go and do research on PP cocaine, because I've seen some people compare it to a certain someone we'll talk about later on in the Iceberg, but I can't. I'm sorry, that shit is too trash. Matter of fact, instead of me talking, let me give y'all a sample of what her music consists of.
That shit is fucking trash, dog.
Rebel is probably the only person in this layer who has a good chance of making a comeback, but it's kind of hard to explain why he's in this layer exactly. Although I did say he has a good chance of making a comeback, which is true to an extent, but due to unfortunate circumstances, it don't seem like he has the same motion as he once did. Rebel had multiple songs that went viral on TikTok, such as Touchable and Gordon R Freestyle off his It's Rebel album, and Rock Climbing with the Lil Yachty Stimulus. He was going crazy in 2021. But one thing that stopped his momentum on the December 19th, 2021, the unfortunate passing of Drakeo the Ruler happened. The reason I bring this up because Drakeo was one of Rebel's inspirations and was a part of Drakeo group called Stitch Team. I probably said that wrong. But since this death of Drakeo happened, there was speculation that Rebel got kicked out of the group due to street politics I'm not gonna go over, and him not attending the funeral. And on the music side, he only drops like once in a blue moon due to not only the things I just mentioned, but label issues, because originally he was supposed to sign to Drakeo the Ruler, but that didn't work out, and he signed to Warner, which led up to the inconsistency currently. Still could pull off good numbers whenever he drops, and even performed for the Kendrick and Friends event a while back, so the motion didn't completely die out. But like I said, it's always once in a blue moon he does that, and the street politics I mentioned earlier played a part of why he's not popular anymore, because Drakeo the Ruler played a major part in Rebel's career. There's a lot to cover when it comes to Beast Boy, but I'm gonna attempt to dumb it down because I'd be on this later talk about this man alone. Got Him was already known before the infamous song we all know, because he's a rapper from Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm pretty sure me saying that speaks for itself. But how he got attention outside of that with the infamous song in question, Beatbox Going Crazy, and I mean crazy, I'm talking about a dance track called a Junebug, multiple, and I mean a multiple fuck ton of remixes. Matter of fact, let's fit the aesthetic of me talking about Spider Got Him. Also, YouTubers adding the beatbox instrumental as background music for their videos. He was basically unavoidable for this one song alone. He's on this layer for a reason, well, reasons, which consist of getting shot, paperwork of him snitching, getting released, and getting arrested multiple times. He even tried to get away on a damn jet ski once. All of this in a span of 1 year. It's not like a Pop Hunter situation where this is straight up bad luck. Most of this is self-sabotaging his own career. And on top of that, he made ass music, so he was doomed from the start. There isn't really much to cover regarding Stay Solid Rocky outside of Party Girl, which went viral on TikTok. Take a shot every time I'm about to say Party Girl, as I'm about to be saying Party Girl multiple times. The point, Uzi hopped on the remix, and no, it's not a Pop Hunter situation. It is still on streaming services 5 years later. Honestly, that seems like the only thing that's going for him, and I say that because take a look at this screenshot right here I took of his Spotify profile. You notice the trend here? His top 7 songs are 6 variations of the same shit. Party Girl, Turkin' With Your Friends by Zeddy Will. That's not a Stay Solid Rocky song, but it's used the sample of Party Girl, so it counts. Party Girl 2, Party Girl remix, Party Girl V's remix, Party Girl Kenna remix. Only thing is missing is a fucking Party Girl Funk remix. What the fuck? The only song, One More Time, is the only original song of the stuff I just mentioned. I am highly shocked I didn't see a Party Girl Funk remix, like I said, while doing research. Cause clearly this is an infinite money glitch for bro. It seemed like he can't top Party Girl, and to make matters worse, his music outside of that is boring, so I generally don't have no other options but to think that. He also got arrested in 2022 for shooting at a funeral home, allegedly, but that turned out to be fake and he beat the case, so good for him. One person who didn't beat that case though is Superstar Pride. There isn't really much to cover here, but Superstar Pride had a song called Painting Pictures that went viral on TikTok of him rapping the song over a hanged mic, which low-key started to trend now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, I mentioned the vid of him rapping the song over the mic because not only people like the song, but the main reason the song blew up is because of his haircut. I am not joking. The whole trend of people recreating that video pretty much made the song go mega viral, currently on 200 million streams on Spotify. But what stopped this motion exactly? He's currently in jail for ironically killing his barber. I'm literally not gonna make any jokes. I should stop right there. I know he dropped 2 projects while he was in jail. I didn't either until this idea. And even after I did this idea, making the script and all, I forgot months afterwards until today. These next 2 layers could possibly be a whole video of itself, but I'd literally be here all day because there's a lot to cover in the underground, especially in current day, aka the realm full of acceptable EDPs, parasocial fan bases of grown men, and possible minors. At least 2 new rappers in the scene that makes music that possibly make me lose brain cells at the age of 20 due to the heavy promotion on Twitter, and many more that I'm missing out. We're here talking about where it all started before this became the case with these artists from the 2020 and 2021 era, starting with me to start off with Autumn because he's one of my favorite rappers in this entire Iceberg. We all know the man is talented. We're not taking that away from him. Every time he drops, people tune in and fuck with it for the most part. I say for the most part because you got people calling him the underground Drake. Well, not anymore, but at one point. But y'all know where I'm going with this. That's the problem right there. If y'all need further elaboration, so his music tends to trend every year, but also his track record regarding females. And they're usually not his age. Y'all can take that as you will. I'm not gonna say if he actually diddled them underage women or not, but him getting called up multiple times and dating the next person I'm gonna talk about back in the day does not help his case. All I gotta say is, Autumn, you gotta
easy on the young ones, my man. I saw you on TV last night. Wasn't clean what you said. What do you mean? What age are we talking about here? What do you mean, buddy?
And drop some heat again, cause this man is very inconsistent when it comes to dropping good music. Unlike Autumn, BK the rule of music is ass. Now, before her fan base come after me, let me rephrase this. Her most popular songs like Tweaking Together, I Don't Know What to Tell You, I Love You Back, and even Crayon, I fuck with those. Everything else, especially her rapper songs where she does something like this.
Listen, never end stage time. Oh, and you fucking hoes that you claim fine. And you for that bitch, yeah, but she claim mine.
I don't see how y'all listen to that. Rapper Part 2 with Lone is a prime example of why I'm not a fan. The beat is hard. Lone has a solid but short verse. But then BK, just talking about a whole bunch of nothing, taking up the song. I'm numb to that song now and actually don't mind her part as I once did, but every project I've heard from her, I genuinely got bored from listening. Me not liking her music for the most part doesn't take away from the fact that she has a solid fan base, possibly ascending out the underground 5 years later, just staying out the way, dropping music, so shout out to her. We go back to the dark side with the underground with the super senior of the underground himself, Jace. Now some of y'all might be thinking, yeah, why you call Jace a super senior where Autumn is literally pushing 30? And you just talked about him. Well, difference between Autumn and Jace, Jace had hella opportunities to go mainstream and is still stuck in the underground. At least when we talk about the underground, Autumn somewhat moved away from that conversation. I'll explain furthermore. Jace's music started to blow up in early 2022 outside of the underground with the song 556, right? The song was everywhere to the point Jace had a lyrical Lemonade video in the works. Not only that, hold my hand when I say this, a remix with that said video featuring Offset, G Herbo, and Annalie Choppa. That really hurts to read out loud, man. You want to know what stopped that from happening? I'm not even gonna say anything, just play the clip.
This nigga marked out on his whole crew. This nigga snitched on his homies for some food. All he needed was some Arby's and some hug juice. I walk with a stick, I walk with a gun, I'll shoot this nigga bitch and his fucking mom.
A little fun fact, an official remix did come out for the song 556 with Spot 'em Got 'em of all people, and you guessed it, that shit was ass.
That shit is fucking trash, dog.
What the hell happened when bro said they all want to remix 556, I don't want to hear shit except booze? Just for him to add Spot 'em Got 'em to his most popular song, just for that to go nowhere. To make matters worse, he has the most mainstream appeal out of everybody in this layer. You know auto songs can be melodic while doing different genres, put out good diss songs for the most part until we face Tootsie and shit at the bed badly.
But back on that block and you know how I get when my niggas go get up with niggas. He say from the murder but that nigga lying steady claiming he be from the trenches.
Show the 5,000.
Show the messages!
You a bitch! Oh Nate, you a bitch! I swear to God! So
Do it all. A prime example is when he's on his own stream when he was first starting off with that, or on a Playboy Max stream last year. At one point, that's where he used to shine, and he's very consistent when it comes to dropping music. And I mean very consistent. Probably recording and dropping another album as I'm speaking on SoundCloud and claiming to retire for the millionth time. Since bro wanted to rep Double R, hang with Trash Can and Lil Reno just to end up snitching on them, and also clearly not caring about dropping actual good music. He just stuck in the same place. Also beefing with people who debatably left the underground before him. His biggest song last year outside of 20 Minutes was literally called Goose Creek. It's a good song, but like, come on, it gets to a point. He usually say he doesn't want to be mainstream. It just hurts to think someone who could have been a mainstream act with a good chunk of his songs that tend to go viral every year, it's just a talented old man yelling at the clouds. I know he said recently that he's not going to go back, but we might need this man to go back and talk about some on the mic, bro. Please. Please, I'm begging you, Jace, please. Every time Jace drops, I try to give it a chance, but anything after Reverence 2 just doesn't click with me for the most part. And me saying Trash Can earlier, I was 100% referring to Can Can. You know that one saying where it says the beat is hard, but blank start rapping? Can Can 100% fits that description. Either his beats are hard and he contributes nothing towards it, or he's getting carried by the features hard as shit. My bias aside, it seems like he still has a loyal fan base, although he didn't drop in 3 years. And most likely isn't gonna drop no time soon. Still active on everything. He's just taking a step back from music. He's just dropping his merch, minding his business. Well, let me not say minding his business. He literally tweets every day like a 15-year-old, so clearly not that. Also a controversial figure.
Like, you want this shit? You are literally...
Bitch, I'll fucking kill you, bitch.
My nigga innocent.
Who would have guessed in the underground layer, but since it's Can, it's best that I don't cover it because I'd be here all day. Why even begin with the Opium label itself, the home of street fighters, corny fans, and ore farmers, and many more. After a whole lot of red drop, time went on as we got to know Cardi's new label and the artists it consists of, starting with best artist in Opium currently. Y'all can debate me all y'all want, but we gotta be real. AGC alone is clearing anything the other artist drops in recent years. Not really much to cover regarding Ken Carson. We don't hear too much outside of him being a shapeshifter and dropping good music a good amount. Recently dropping More Chaos and announcing a tour for it, which I'll be attending.
Oh man, I can't have shit in this house!
Wow, the Antagonist 2.0 tour, yes, 2.0 tour has been announced.
I don't know how!
This video is never coming out, I'm telling y'all. $141 for floor seats is crazy. He randomly calls out Yeet sometimes. But like, that's literally a one-sided thing. Can we like put that to the side real quick? I know Geek High isn't the best collaboration, and also that one leak. We got sticks, pull up, bitch. That's what it's called, pull up. And I know that all started because of that song. Ken is just arguing with himself at this rate, but just as long as he keep dropping the good music and push away from the More Chaos narrative, I'll easily ignore it. I'm not gonna talk about Destroy Lonely for too long because I dropped a video regarding him. But all I'm gonna say is, if you haven't watched that video, Broken Hearts 3 is really going to be a make or break album for him. Know that he's going to be fine as long as Opium is a thing, but like, he's not that good as he once was, and him not dropping the best songs is not helping his case. Said at the end of the video, he got to put the BBO demons down, he got to put the Little 88 down and lock in. He can do it for 5 songs. I know he can do it for more. I had other words regarding the script. This is literally off the dome regarding Destroy Lonely because I already covered him in my video, so there's no point. Oh yeah, I forgot about Homicide Gang. Now, SSG Kobe's story is pretty sad to talk about, I'm not gonna lie. This is coming from someone who didn't really listen to him outside of a few tracks. It seemed like this man was gonna be not a mainstream name per se, but I say where Autumn is currently, having a low-key dedicated fan base and having a song or two that goes viral every year. It did seem like that. Bro had a few lyrical lemonade videos, possibly one of the first rappers to be on an Ada Raw stream. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Got a few mainstream features under his belt. It seemed like he was next up, and also he was managed by the same people as Yeet. Till December of 2022, we got the news of a woman by the name of Cash Kenny, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, came out with some serious SA allegations. It did not look good for Kobe because he responded on Discord at first, and you know that's not the best place to respond to those type things. As time went on, we got to know the truth, but the damage has been already done to the point he got dropped from Columbia Records, the record label he was signed to, and this was also around the time he was supposed to drop his debut album called U4. His fans was waiting for months for it, but it got scrapped due to obvious reasons. Also, he kept pushing that album back prior to the allegations, so I'm not sure if he was going to be super mainstream like I said earlier, but like, he would at least have a somewhat of a fan base. Nowadays, after the allegations have been debunked, Kobe has been dropping music here and there, but I don't see anybody talking about it as they once did. And recently I've seen a video of him performing with less than 20 people in attendance. I know, I gotta rant real quick. If Kobe is performing to less than 20 people, right? What the hell stopped Autumn that one time in Atlanta? Really using the excuse of, I don't know, niggas got school or what, why he sold low tickets. Meanwhile, SSG Kobe over here performing for a damn optional assembly. All bit on the side though, it is a shame that SSG Kobe career had to come this way. But even then, he wasn't dropping like that during his peak, so who knows what would have happened prior to these allegations. Like me beating a dead horse regarding Sofago, so I'ma just say this with my full-on chest, no script. That man is not having a comeback. Lil Reno, boy oh boy, where do I begin? Outside of Summer's well-being,
then I'm thinking we good. She come back to me and I say, hey, I'm missing my cup of caramel and a cup of Oreos. She talking about, oh, we can't do that. We'll get charged for doing that. Like, bitch, you gonna go to jail for fucking giving me a cup of caramel? Like, what are you talking about, man? You gonna lose your job for giving me a cup of caramel? But look, I be trying to be polite as fucking nice to these goddamn people at these fast food places. But I ain't gonna lie, like, God forgive me. But I just told that bitch, man, that's why you work here right now, man. That's exactly why you work here.
Nigga ain't got no deers in their neighborhood. Yeah. Call him hoes like a dog.
Summers, he can make some really good music when he tries, but he's also a prime example of an inconsistent artist like his counterpart Autumn. One minute we get some good albums, some even top tier, but then we get something like the Ghost album, and that was something.
She won't have nothing to do with me. Yeah. I fucking hate all women.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga.
Outside of him being the most mean person on here, he's one of the best if we're talking overall discography in this layer, being one of the pioneers of the current underground wave. So shout out to Lil Reno, the most humble rapper. Was she off the clock? She 12 under my covers, undercover.
She off the clock, but she 12 under my covers, undercover. 12. 12 is a cop. 12 is the cops, right?
Last but certainly not least, the godfather of 2020-2021 underground rapper himself, Yeat. Now it's very ironic, the last video I posted before my 2-year hiatus was Yeat related, and a lot have changed since then. Easily the biggest rapper in this layer with no debate, having multiple mainstream features to his name, still consistently dropping and getting bigger and bigger with every album, unlike a certain someone we just talked about. Top it all off, no allegations to his name. Just simply music. We love to see it ending with a layer full of negativity and a positive light. He do need to give Twisty P a good amount of his portions though. The only negative thing I gotta say about Yeat, because if we didn't know Twisty P, it's a high chance we wouldn't know Yeat, I'm not gonna lie.
Twisty P is a legend. Twisty P is GOAT. Yeah.
Could you explain Twisty P for people who don't know? He loves Yeat.
Yeah, he just loves music. He's a funny kid, yeah.
I had to open my hole, suck a nigga dick in slow-mo. The hair on my penis, it won't grow. I suck on his dick, he take photos.
Y'all might be wondering, isn't this just the same layer as the previous one? Well, yes, but the difference is, nobody makes good music on here.
Get out the booth. Don't rap no more.
Remember that one song called All Ass off Culture 1? Yeah, that literally represents everybody I'm about to talk about in this layer, I'm sorry. Before I start, let me say this, everyone in this layer made me take the underground as a whole way less seriously because they all grew up from Band Lab 9 times out of 10. And that contributed with how underground is very much in a shitty place currently. It's not all bad, but like, the bad outweighs the good.
This nigga is trash.
And these rappers contributed to that. Cash Dami is literally the underground punching bag and the biggest of 2025, either getting ratioed every time he announces new music or getting bidded on by this picture alone I'm gonna put up on the screen. I'll give Cash Dami this. One of the only tolerable ones on here. There's one more person I feel that way towards, but that don't mean much because I'm still not impressed by the music. Listen to his album Epiphany recently because I wanted to get an idea of why this album in particular was getting so much praise when the Underground Juniors was coming up. And after listening, I somewhat got an idea of why people like this album, but the 5 remaining Cash Dami fans might know where I'm going with this. The songs being super short as shit kills my enjoyment very quickly. Not even the length that's the issue. I'm personally numb to songs not being no more than 2 minutes at this rate, because it seems like that's the new norm now in rap. Cash Dami would do is he would pick up the pace mid-song and then straight up slow that shit down and end it in a span of a minute, like the song I Love You / Sincerely, for example.
Saucy, put him in a pot and cook him, no spaghetti.
In his recent music, you would think there's some form of improvement, but no, there's no changes at all. I unfortunately listened to his album Osis. If I said that wrong, I don't care. It's just another Cash Dami album, moral of the story, that I've heard for 18 minutes I can't get back. Got a few diss tracks against a couple people, but they aren't really much to talk about. It's pretty mid, I'm not gonna hold you. Kinda confuses me because people were saying that he won against Jace during their beef or whatever, but like, no. Just no. Tried to look around and see if he's still making music, but I was about to say unfortunately, but I don't listen to Cash Dami. The last thing he dropped was in December of 2024. Maybe it's for the best he don't drop anything, because we don't need it realistically. I'm not even going to attempt to talk about either of them separately, because they both did the same amount of damage to the underground. Both Antisocial 1 or 2 are massive songs and play a major role in the current underground. And that's the issue right there. Being so young at the time when those 2 songs came out and gaining so much popularity from it made the underground so exaggerated with kids making music on BandLab, which is fine, but the music 9 times out of 10 isn't good. And that's the case with both Tana and Slump to me. In the Tana album Banner, and I was so bored of the songs. I was familiar with Decatur and Designer Things, but I'm used to hearing the sped up audios on TikTok, because y'all can clearly tell I don't listen to him, so it sounds off to me. I don't think he dropped anything recently from the top of my head, but he has a fan base who's waiting for him to drop new music, so that's a plus. So with Slump's success, I generally don't have any words for his music that I haven't said about Tana, but the difference is he doesn't have anybody waiting on him to drop. Side note, in current day, when I try to do research, I don't hear anything from him, just random antics, aka him putting a rapper who self-deleted himself on a song cover a while back, which I'm not showing, and allegedly pulling up on ops once. I don't know it was possible for anybody that blew up on BandLab to have those. He used to date K3 before she was popular, just for K3 to be bigger than him and going on tour with fucking NBA Youngboy. I'll just let this video that you may or may not seen before cover my thoughts about Young Fazo.
Good shit, Wick.
It might sound hypocritical because I basically just called him trash. Trust me, he is. But why every time Young Fazo is in the media, he's always getting clowned on? Specifically on Max Song Wars. Every time he was on Max Song Wars, literally he'd be the butt of the joke. Like, it's just not bullying at this point.
But Fazo, I did what I'm gonna tell you, Fazo, about your shit. This what threw me off. Like, Ken Carson, my real nephew. Like, I raised Cardi for real. Like, that shit just sound too much like them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear you. Like,
he's saying, like, I could listen to the lyrics and hear what he's saying. With the other record, I didn't really understand what was going on.
God, hurry the fuck up.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It just sounds kind of like outdated to me. I'm me personally a 3. Like, if I showed this to my homie, I would want to be like, nah, bro, don't put this one out. You feel me? Like, go back to the drawing board and go get another one.
Young Chris is the other artist I was referring to earlier when I said Dami being one of the only tolerable people in this layer. And even then, I'm still not interested in their music. Now, the thing with Young Chris is, y'all might know where I'm going with this. The man does not change his flow for shit. Not really a major issue in my opinion. Some rappers can pull it off having the same flow, but Young Chris ain't one of them. He's not that bad entirely. He actually got some songs I like, such as Oh Boy, Fooling Around, Damn Homie with Yachty. Even his most popular song, Blood on the Leaves, isn't a bad song years later. SSG Kobe still ran the fuck out of everybody on that remix though.
Jump in the beat for a minute, man. Keep me a chopper, keep me a mini, man. Nigga ran up in this shit. This ceiling fan, hop in the whipping, no keys when I'm whipping it.
I feel like he could be a singles artist because an album worth of Young Chris music could get stale very quickly. Another problem with Young Chris, he's a snippet demon. I'm not sure about now because I don't hear from him anymore, but when he was first taken off, the man would tease hella snippets of songs people genuinely like, even begging for him to drop. but by the time it dropped outside of his fan base, people stopped caring. And this isn't a one-time thing, this was very consistent from him. The song that I wanted from Young Chris personally to drop is called Emily, is a prime example. It sounded actually valid when he first teasing it, but then he kept teasing it back to back, and when it did drop, it didn't sound the same at all.
Charlie, she wanna party with me, sipping Casamigos and Whitney. Emily, tryna get frisky, you get me? Casamigos and Whitney.
Man, delete that shit, bro. Delete it.
And I already never cared enough for his music, so what makes you think he'd last long in the underground scene where there's new artists almost every other month coming out who actually drops way more than him? Thomas Son's existence literally gets leaked every other week, and he's still more consistent than Young Chris' entire career. The whole entire script of disrespecting Che, but after my experience at the Saw Baby concert a while back, and him doing pretty good as an opener, I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna get spared for now. Cougar is still terrible though. Crazy thing with Che is literally nothing changed. Like, I still don't like Say So Says. I didn't listen to Cougar and I have no plans on doing that, but for some reason I like Rest in Bass a month after it came out by the time of this recording. Really crazy that Tana and Che are the only people remaining is what I would say if this next person wasn't in the Slayer. Call him an underground rapper currently is pretty much insane. You could say anime edits carried bro career, which is true, but I seen Rich and Mary post TikToks and tease music back in the day, and to see him basically be a mainstream rapper, whether we want to admit it or not, it's very impressive, especially compared to his peers. Only he made good music and didn't copy everybody else in the underground, he'd be straight in my book, but unfortunately that's not the case. Moral of the story, all these artists aren't for anybody over the age of 18 and were made for TikTok. Take a break from the underground and lean over to the mainstream, more specifically the female rappers. Me personally, I'm pretty 50-50 with female rappers. Some are good, some are trash. Simple as that. I'm one of those degenerate rap fans who don't listen to female rap. If I like music, then I like the music, no matter what the gender is. These ladies just so happen to catch my attention. And not just because of their looks. Starting off with the biggest rapper in this layer, Glorilla got the mainstream in her hands currently in a very unexpected way too, I'm not gonna lie. Starting off with the song F&F in early 2022, it's been up for Glorilla ever since cause it gained attention quickly on TikTok due to the authenticity not only in the song but in the music video as well. It kept going viral with other songs such as Tomorrow 2 with Cardi B and Lick or Something, and people were waiting for her next move since she haven't dropped an official album, just a few singles and her Life is Great EP at the time. The next move in question was definitely not like the rest.
Cha-cha-cha. Do the cha-cha-cha.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Cha was definitely a song that didn't appeal to the crowd to the point it had almost everyone turning their back on Glorilla off one song alone, from her fans, old heads, and even a mainstream merchant himself, Kai Cenat.
No. Come on, Glow. Glow! I love Glow, bro. I love Glow, but no.
After that song not being received well, it was a very quiet period for Glow until the song Yeah Glow dropped and everyone loved her again, with her follow-up with Wannabe with Megan Thee Stallion and Thank God It's Friday also going crazy on TikTok, leading up to her debut album Glorious, which had mostly positive reviews. You couldn't escape Glorilla even if you tried. Her run last year, and especially now with her being a damn feature merchant in rap as a whole currently, that is not changing no time soon. I know people talk about Travis Scott being on features, especially with Cardi, but like, Glorilla is a whole nother breed when it comes to TikTok songs. I could explain Ice Spice come up like every single YouTuber in this space, but it's basically common knowledge by now, and if I were to compare Ice Spice come up to anybody, I'd say she's basically the female embodiment of the baby. I say that because both of them were someone who was getting mad pushed in the media a little too much until people got tired of her, and her music being the same thing every time, not in a good way, didn't help at all. The last thing I heard from her music wise, she sold like 4K on her Y2K Deluxe that I didn't listen to, so clearly she's not in the best state as she once was career wise, which was bound to happen because again, she didn't switch up on the music side. Also, she has some controversy going on when she was doing her tour last year. First off, y'all niggas went to an Ice Spice tour unironically. What the fuck are y'all doing? Again, I'm not covering that because of the simple fact you could look up the words Ice Spice downfall and I promise you, no bullshit, there's at least 10 videos regarding that topic. So what's the point of me talking about that? At the time of this recording, I just did research. She didn't drop a single song this year. She did drop with a K-pop group, but you already know that's an infinite money glitch, so that shit does not count at all. Two things you'll notice about Ice Spice in the biggest of 2025. One, she's a shapeshifter, kind of like Ken Carson, but it's not entirely bad like him. And two, sometimes she'll show her ass. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work. But moral of the story, you'll never hear anything about music regarding Ice Spice anymore. Someone who didn't mind her music when she was first coming up, it was pretty much bound to happen for her to be in this state where she is right now music wise, and especially with Y2K being shitty, and I'm not just talking about the lyrics, everybody could have seen this coming. As I'm editing this video, she literally dropped a song with Lotto recently called Get. I don't think I can do this anymore. If I really want to be that guy, she still hasn't dropped anything solo because, like I mentioned earlier, that K-pop song I mentioned, literally that's a feature. And also, the song I'm talking about now, Yet, I still can't believe that's the song name, but anyway, it's a Lotto song, not an Ice Spice song. So she still haven't done anything in 2025 music wise. And also she was a part of Kai Cenat streams, so is Lotto, promoting the song. But realistically, you know why they there.
Lotto! We're Lotto! Bro!
Totally unrelated to the music side of things, but literally when Mona Leo announced her pregnancy, I low-key fell down to my knees when the law came. That had to be one of the worst days of my life. So I was like, no.
Hey y'all, I just got married.
Congratulations!
Should have been me, not him. That little rant aside, it seems like every other month Mona Leo has some songs that go viral on TikTok, almost every other month, and rightfully so. I say that because Mona Leo makes catchy music for a predominantly woman, but I'd be lying to y'all to say if I didn't fuck with her music as a grown man. Songs that most people were introduced to Mona Leo, being Now You're Black and We Not Huppin', are prime examples of what I mean. The hooks tend to go viral on TikTok, and I don't even need to go over that song, Get Off That Don Julio at the Fulio. What she say? Get off that Don Julio at the Fulio. Bitch, I at your motherfucking phone. That's how you do me up. Damn, that shit go crazy, bro. I'm gonna be honest. She had a LeBron moment rapping those lyrics, but that shit still go crazy 1 year later. The song was all over the timeline around the summer of last year, so it's not ridiculous to claim that Mona Leo is a mainstream female rapper at this point. I don't think she had a crazy viral song this year by the time of this recording, but I wouldn't be shocked because I know it's gonna happen eventually, like every other year. The amount of think pieces that are involved with Sexy Red, especially during her prime, yeah, I know that's crazy to say out loud, but that's an understatement to say that she is a mainstream act. There's for the right or mostly wrong reasons, that's definitely a topic for another day, but I'm mostly focused on the music aspect of things, or try to be in this Iceberg, and I'm not gonna lie, she got some hits on her. Just saying, this might sound a little bit weird, but if I hear Hellcats and SRTs at a function, fuck a Dreams and Nightmares, I'm rapping my ass off regarding that shit. I'll be fucking up Dreams and Nightmares anyway. Before the infamous song that blew her up, Pound Town, she been had a few viral moments like that one Take A remix and this song right here.
My way through the hood with your boo. All his homeboys think I'm cute.
But people didn't realize it was her until years later, where it was bound for her to blow up in the mainstream eventually due to the authenticity in her music. I know I said that about Glorilla, but it's 10 times more with Sexy Red. Once again, that could be a good or bad thing overall, but in a music sense, clearly it's working out for her, being another big name in a female rap scene right next to Glow. First song she dropped this year was with Bruno Mars of all people, the #1 artist on Spotify currently. I'm not gonna pretend like it's good, cause realistically it's not, but that shows Sexy isn't going anywhere no time soon, and I'm interested to see how far she goes in her career. If she don't do no more songs with Drake, cause as much as I like You My Everything, for example, yes, nigga, you heard me. I'll repeat it if I have to. I like that song unironically. She definitely played a major role of why people don't take Drake as seriously as they once did. I might know who Kelly is, others might not, but I'm gonna play a few of her biggest songs that went viral on TikTok, and I want you to notice something regarding these songs.
Got a white boy on my roster, he be feeding me pasta and lobster. thick thighs, got them busting out the jeans. Yeah, it's sticky, pretty bitch, but that ass is on thicky.
I don't know if it's just me, but every single one of these songs besides Area Codes, they sound the exact same. This is why it pretty much took me a while to come up with anything regarding Callie in the script, because I genuinely have no thoughts regarding her music. It's not bad by any means, it's pretty mid, but like, I understand the appeal, but it's not really that good at all. And plus, there's not really much to cover regarding Callie outside of the music and her dating Duke Dennis. But like, that streamer shit, I don't care about that. RIP to Enchanted, but if you heard the song with Callie and Enchanted, Track and Field, that literally sound like one long ass song because they both have the exact same flow and cadence. Might be a stretch, but I honestly thought Lola Brooke would have been a bigger female rapper than what she is currently. With the amount of push she got from Don't Play With It, not only the original but the remix with Lotto and Young Miami, making a XXL list. I know that's not a credible source, but still. That song with Bryson Tiller, it seemed like she had the ball in her hands, but nothing really came out of it. I'm not saying she fell off or anything like that, but she's definitely the least popular out of everyone in this layer, which could be because of the deep voice thing that New York female rappers tend to do for some odd reason, which don't really appeal to the mainstream audience. One thing I've noticed regarding Lola Brooke music, she is what I like to call a sample demon. I'm not saying samples are entirely a bad thing. To use literally rap as a genre wouldn't be what it is without them, but it gets to a point where there's a difference between using samples and just doing your own spin to it and just flat out remixing already known songs, and that's what Lola Brooke does.
VIP.
Last but not least, regarding segments, this segment is about Philly and Jersey Club. It might come off as me being biased since I'm from Philly myself, but it seems like we're finally getting outsider love from the mainstream after all these years in the 2020s. It's not like we don't have anybody talented over here, but for most of it is very dark compared to back in the day, and it didn't take until recently for outsiders to notice the rappers, rather it's good or predominantly bad. We're not here to cover the mostly negative stuff. We're here to talk about what I like to call the hip shaking realm, which I'm predominantly talking about in this layer, hence Philly and Jersey Club. Before I get into it, yeah, of course, most of the people on here are predominantly Philly artists, but it'll make sense, I promise. It's not me being biased. When I'm referring to the Philly artists in this layer, it's basically one storyline because they all came up in the same time frame, and I could easily speed run talking about them all at once. But since I'm already deep into this video, I'm not changing the format for this shit. Starting with what shit Too Rare gets, especially during that incident. Y'all know the one.
Nigga, rap. What the fuck is nigga? Bro, Philly! Stop! Philly niggas always dancing, bro!
There's a point in time where Too Rare was basically the poster child of that whole wave. Before y'all Jersey, Baltimore people come in my comments, I'm not saying he started it, but when you associate hip shaking music, 9 times out of 10, Too Rare is literally the first person to come out of mind. Whether it be him having at least one viral song on TikTok every year, being a feature anytime a mainstream rapper wanted to do a dance song. When that wave was popular in the mainstream and rappers decided to do them type songs, basically he'd make an appearance in some shape or form, like Sticky and Just Wanna Rock. I'm not talking about his music when I say this, but whether we want to admit it or not, bro is top 5 Philly rappers in recent times. It wasn't just Too Rare who had this impact in the hip shaking realm. He had a group called Too Humpy. I didn't make that up, by the way. They generally called themselves that. Played a role in the lore as well, rather it be their solo songs or making group songs together, but unfortunately it was short-lived due to, let's just say, egos in the group to shorten up time, because there's multiple reasons, but I'd be here all day. Rare made a song called Too Humpy Is Back, and the snippet did actually well on TikTok. That was supposed to have the remaining members Rod and Brock, but Rare fumbled the bag, dropping the song with only himself on it. They valid numbers, but probably would have been a summer anthem on TikTok like Too Humpy Anthem in 2023. Take a shot every time I say Too Humpy. Now it just seemed like everybody doing their own thing since the split. Too Rare, being the most serious artist out of everyone, isn't as consistent as he should be, but managed to stay relevant somehow with at least one viral dance song. Before with Rob 49 and Skilla Baby last year is the prime example of that, and I just looked up to see if he dropped anything. So far, no. He did drop a song called Extra Cheese, but I looked on Spotify, there's not a lot of streams to talk about, but on YouTube it's at 1 million views. That's very questionable, but I'ma just mind my business on that. This is who should have been the poster child of the wave, but Philly had more people backing it up than Jersey, and I'm not saying that like I'm against my own area, but I'd be a fool to not admit Bandman Real didn't bring the hip shaking music to TikTok which hits the layer is called Philly and Jersey Club, but we popularized it overall. Anyway, I say Bam Marrell should have been a poster job because he had more songs in this lane that went viral before everyone else in this layer, whether we want to admit it or not. But due to most, if not all of his songs consist of samples, which can not only feel a bit repetitive, but also got to deal with the label issues that got his original YouTube channel deleted. What officially killed his career in my opinion was going against the areas that showed him the most love outside of Jersey, aka Philly and New York. Philly, the reason why he had a problem with the area is because he felt like all of the support he should have been getting pretty much went to all of the other artists over here, like I mentioned earlier.
Credit as far he can get, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater. Too Red definitely is doing his thing right now. You heard he got the shit with Dirk, that shit going off. You feel me? And he bringing a lot of people together. You feel me? And a good vibe. You feel me? Like I fuck with that. But it's like I don't have no problem. I don't care that he's going up. That doesn't faze me. It's just the fact that you're not about to go around saying that you started some shit or that you was the first rapper to do some shit and you know you wasn't. Like, how you the first rapper to do some shit when you was asking me how to do it?
I understand completely, but you got to think about it like this. What other artists do Jersey have, period? I was going to say during that time frame, but no, generally, Jersey don't really have anybody. And he started randomly dissing New York rappers for some odd reason, all because of his BMB and Murder B, which I won't cover why that's bad.
Bandman and Murder, suck my word, both y'all. Y'all niggas is losers. Bitch went all the way to Jersey to go suck. I knew we shouldn't have. I told all the guys.
But basically, Bam Marrell shot himself in the foot with his career twice. And he tried to insert himself during the whole Lil TJ and Blackboy Max situation a while back, but niggas are not checking for Bam Marrell in 2025.
I'm from the J, that's if a Jersey broke, I bang at the floor like a burpee. All of the ops so broke can't hurt me.
Saying he makes trash music or anything. If anything, his music is still valid years later. Even that song I mentioned with him inserting himself during the TJ and Max situation. But boy, slow down. This viral song he had in recent times was a song with Speed he was supposed to drop during his peak, but when it came out, nobody cared. Even the I Show Speed stimulus, especially with how international he is, that didn't do anything for Bam Marrell. Listen, I know we was just bidding on her like a week or two ago about her saying that she a millionaire and we know her songs.
I am, but I guarantee y'all know my songs. I promise you.
This is a message for Miss Layla Banks herself. Biddy to Biddy. This is a battle you might want to sit out. But you remember when I said Too Rare is top 5 biggest Philly rappers in recent times? That implies the Lay Banks too. When I say top 5 in Philly, that doesn't align with me saying music wise and how much I enjoy the music. I'm just saying from a numbers standpoint, because realistically, going back to Lay Banks saying that we know her songs. We know her songs, yes, but how can I put this without genuinely ruining my chances of shooting my shot? I might not like her music, but she can hit my line anytime she wants. Streams are very impressive compared to her peers she came up with, but I can't lie, that music is for a specific audience and I'm clearly not one of them. Two biggest songs, Tell Your Girlfriend and Ick, are prime examples of what I mean it's not for me. Even those names itself, I wouldn't be listening to that unironically. Most likely add little clips of what the songs sound like, but there's a high chance you heard them if you clicked on this video. The subject matter of Lay Banks songs are most likely for teenage girls who 9 times out of 10 get their vocabulary off of TikTok. Even though said songs was getting attraction, she stayed getting bidded on for even not only the visuals when she teased her music and the subject matter like I mentioned earlier, coming off as something off of Disney Channel, and her choices outside of music, which I won't cover because it's not really that big of a deal to me. I'm not gonna lie, this video I'm about to put up on the screen will never not be funny.
I'm really out here to ask the question that everybody want to know.
What the fuck everybody want to know?
I was on Twitter the other day, they talking about you used to be dyking and all that. Tomboy shit and all that. That's true?
Nigga, stop playing with me, bro. We ain't even about to talk about
I'm not even playing. Did you used to be a dyke or not? Like,
you doing too much. Like,
yeah, I'm doing too much. Bro, cut it, bro. Cut it, bro. I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. Fuck out of here.
It's the Philly and me talking because I'm so numb to the amount of characters we have over here. But all I'm saying is, like I said previously, Lay Banks can still hit my line, although I don't like her music. In comments saying people don't know 5 songs. Shit, I'll be the first person to know 10 songs.
Weird.
buddy. I started off this layer with the Philly Ghosts, but I didn't think this through until last minute. But anyway, this lore really lines up together like I mentioned for the millionth time. All the Philly rappers we had coming up at the time, people outside of the city assumed that everybody was a Philly Goat, but realistically it was only 3 members. Members consisted of D-Sturdy, Sue, and Spence, and they started the whole wave with the dance music in 2022 with one song called Shake That.
Shake that shit, yeah, shake that shit. Come on, Lord, shake that shit. Come on, shake that shit. You doing a beam in the beamer. I was just fucking the bitch named Salima.
I can't speak on other areas, but this shit was unescapable over here when it first dropped. Only that being the song that blew him up, despite only one of the 3 members being on the song. I feel like that music video represents the new era Philly music was heading during that time frame. And hip shaking, humble hoodies, and we can't forget about the infamous white chalk, which will forever be stupid to me. It was fun music nonetheless, which is a different pace compared to the usual drill music. I have other songs that go viral on TikTok like Buckle Up and Get Off the Wall, but it seems like that era was short-lived after 2023, which was pretty expected, I'm not gonna hold you. Not dropping much either didn't help. I still see them from time to time on TikTok. Still mad as shit about OT7 Quantity wasted a verse on a D-Sturdy song of all things. But he fell off, so it don't fucking matter. Best people on this Iceberg isn't from Jersey or Philly, ironically, but I feel like they fit the description because they did get popular in that lane. Started with Skywater, who's from UK and been making music for almost a decade now, and didn't get any traction until he made the songs Malice and Eyes that has the sound of your average Jersey Club song. Got their own spin to it because, mind you, Skywater is also a part of the underground space, and these songs got so popular that Uzi hopped on the Malice remix and didn't take it off. For those 2 songs I just mentioned, he just hopped off the wave altogether, basically becoming a Cardi variant in the underground scene, which is not a bad thing, by the way. It's clearly working out for him because he has a fan base who rocks with him heavy outside of the TikTok songs, even with his questionable fashion sense. And I just realized that he want to be called a her allegedly, so I'm already too deep, so sorry about. And off this little iceberg, we got Wolfface Joey, although he is part of that Slizzy wave currently that basically replaced Jersey and Philly Club. A few songs that came off as Jersey Club and have a few little viral moments, to the point Too Rare took his flow entirely on a song with UK rapper Digga D when bro was barely popular.
For me, I would shoot you, babe, and I will not miss. Just like Tyreek, I will go shoot, babe.
Ooh, baby, I got bands like Buku, baby. That boy ain't on shit. No, we don't misses me in tutu, baby.
Of Too Rare biting my shit on a Digga D remix. Like, bro was trying to mention 22 in the verse like it was gonna fucking save him, bro. Like, bro literally took my shit, put it in his pocket, and put it on another song. And you think I'm not gonna say nothing about it? Are you crazy?
It seemed like Joey found his lane in the Slizzy wave from multiple songs with million+ streams that only came out not even a year ago, so at least we ended off in a positive note. After 3 months of recording that intro and literally not recording anything else, putting my main focus into this project, it is finally done. Fun fact, I always had this project in the start of my mind since I've started this channel again last year, but I didn't know the direction I wanted to take this project and also the channel. And I started this shit since the ban, quote unquote ban, of TikTok January 19th. Moral of the story, TikTok is still around, so this shit, it made it 10 times harder than it needed to be. And not just me fully analyzing this project and putting my time into it. There's other things as well, such as the gaslighting of the TikTok ban, of course, me procrastinating hard as shit because it's an hour-long video, which I did not expect at all. Literally my PC on its last leg, more and more I kept editing. We still have no updates regarding the Jet Set Radio reboot. Literally, it's been almost 3 years and Bomb Rush is getting another game. Granted, I'll be playing it, but that's not what I asked for.
Bitch, I've been feeling like I'm finna die.
But you know what? We finally here, and I'm
Still good.
All been an aside though, if you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate it because again, I didn't expect this to be an hour-long video, and also I like to do research, and on top of add the crazy shit in my videos. So here you are, a 1-hour video. Now back to regular schedule programming, aka I'll see y'all in like 3 more months. I'm gonna end the video right here. If you like my vids, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow the social medias. Pretty sure that's the most you'll ever see me consistent, more specifically on the TikTok and the Instagram rather than on the YouTube. But social media promotions aside, this is Aunt G's, and take care. Damn, I ain't say that in a while.